Hello everyone, I'm RecV5.
And I am Sandman99.
And welcome back to Parasite Eve.
Yeah.
So we're on our EX run now. I think it's EX run 1, and we need to level up some before we go to the Chrysler building. So even though we could go right now, I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to try to speed run through the first few sections of the game here. While I can. I think, have I been in here yet? In this door? I did go to Wayne and I dropped off a bunch of shit, and I guess I'll show you guys this. We took our gun here. I'll have to go and grab a tool so that I can actually show you what I put on this thing. Oh look, we got the CM Vest one. That'll be useful as a switch vest. I like to have the auto heal on a switch vest, just so that in case you get hit while you're switched out and trying to regenerate parasite energy, you'll still auto heal.
Oh.
You take too much damage. But yeah, we'll talk to Wayne for a quick second. I'll just show you guys what I did with my gun, because I don't remember if I did that on camera or not. I seem to think not. But basically, I used a bunch of tools. I think I used all my tools. Yeah. And I souped up this gun so that it has the burst from the shotgun. It has command. So it already had those two, right? Because I put burst on it last time. But now it has tranquilizers, and then it has acid bullets. And so the tranquilizers will stop enemies that are weak to tranks, but won't do anything against enemies that aren't. But it means that they're not detrimental to have on your gun. And then the acid bullets, I think, do more damage against enemies who are weak to acid, but nothing against enemies who aren't. But they're not detrimental to have. And then that first is just the quick draw. So we have a chance to enter any battle now with our AT gauge fully charged. And that might kind of sound kind of niche, but it's actually very useful, especially if you're going for lots and lots of damage.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to run around in circles for 5 seconds until your AT gauge charges up, right?
That's right. And also, too, I got our range up to like 110, so we're equal with a rifle now. And then our damage is like 140 now, which I think almost outpaces the rocket launcher now. So, you know, of course we fire faster than the rocket launcher, so there's that. But anyways, this is where Ben gets upset about Daniel not going to the concert with him again.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we'll have to go and drive over to Clamp's office again and see his good taste in keyboards. I think, too, if you forget what you're doing at any time, too, you can, like, talk to some of the, like, random police officers, and they'll kind of just tell you what's going on. It's easy to forget steps when you're going through your second EX game, right? Because you've already heard the story one time, and you tend to click through things.
Yeah.
But if you go by process of elimination, you can kind of just mash buttons through it and find the way where you need to go anyways. But yes, we could go to the Chrysler building right now. We could do it.
You could do it.
It's a terrible idea to go there right now. Things are very, very strong. The thing about it is they're very strong, but they don't have lots and lots of hit points. Oh yeah, maybe we have to go talk to Baker first. I think that's what we got to do. Because right now we only have Carnegie Hall, so we have to go talk to Baker. So you was talking about, you know, clicking things?
Right? Yep, and not remembering what to do.
Yeah, so now we got to go talk to Baker.
Okay.
But, yeah. Mainly, though, the first few floors, the Chrysler building actually starts off pretty slow. Right? The first few floors aren't really that threatening, except for, like, trap chests. Trap chests can be pretty bad. I don't remember when they start, but they get more and more frequent as you go up the tower. And, those can just about, like, one-hit kill you if you're not, like, over-leveled. So it's also why it's good to carry a revive on you, just in case. Okay, press conference. See? This is where we give people the, fucking crazy loony bin story, right?
Yep.
Yep, it was a terrorist attack. Flammable chemical. No, nothing to see here. Yep, my mitochondria were a mutation. There you go. Best line in the game. She was Eve. Body snatchers. The press is having a great time with this.
Yep.
Imagine all the papers they'll sell.
Just imagine how much trouble you'd be in.
Oh, I'm sure you'd get fired for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not supposed to tell the truth.
Yep. It's a big cover-up. Transparency be damned. Well, you know what they say, right? I can't remember who said this, but what's some of the scariest words you can hear from someone? I'm with the government and I'm here to help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, you're gonna pull the car around front. I don't know if I even need to talk to you for you to pull the car around front, but you're gonna pull the car around front. Just do these things just in case, right? Because you don't know what's a trigger and what's not.
Yeah.
And you go through this sort of thing naturally if you're playing the game for the first time, but yeah. And I love that guy's computer, though.
See, that's one of the things that I have to remember too when I'm doing, playthroughs for things that have journal entries or terminal entries or whatever, especially in games that I played a lot.
Yep.
You know, like you have to remember to let the people see what the entries are, because it's too easy to skip over them after you've read them enough times, right?
Yeah, I know I kind of skipped over things in the Diablo playthrough that I did, but to be fair though, there's not a lot of story to Diablo. I mean, it's like a hack and slash with some story laid on top of it, if you're interested in that sort of thing. But the main thing is, you know, killing demons.
Yeah, it's not a especially deep story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's always fun to talk to Farnham now and then. Best story ever. It was funny, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and we were talking about how, like, Cain will identify items for you, but if you get, like, a cursed item, he won't unidentify it for you, right? It's like, well, no, that's why you gotta go and talk to Farnham, right? Sit down and have some drinks for him, and you forget the effects of a random item. That would be an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
But you don't get to choose which item, so you'd better be careful. And it's because, too, like, certain items are more useful unidentified than they are identified. Like, there's an item called Gotterdammerung, which is a helmet that is the highest armor class helmet in the game, but it also reduces all your resistances to 0. So, you know, it's one of those kinds of things that has a drawback to it as well.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But if you don't identify it, then it doesn't reduce all your resistances to 0. Because if you don't know what it does, then it doesn't affect you. It's all make-believe, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the way cursed items worked in traditional games of that type.
It is definitely not, but that's how it works in Diablo. If you don't identify it, it's not cursed. It doesn't have any other differentiation from a normal item. But if it has a higher base armor class, then of course it will stay a higher base armor class. Because as far as you're concerned, you just picked up a really heavy armor class helmet.
It must be a bug. That was probably unintended.
It still works the same way in Diablo 2, though, although I think they remedied that somewhat by not letting you equip unidentified items. But I have to say I actually liked it, right? You know, the item doesn't work unless you believe in its effect. A little bit of faith going on there. Faith-based items. I love this, they just look at each other.
Oh, now she's having another vision.
Yep, another flashback. All the flashbacks. All the time. Yeah, if you sit there stunned for a couple 30 seconds or so, you might want to get that checked.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's gonna go on the mitochondria rant again.
Yeah.
And I guess now that you know that the museum's a thing, you could actually sit here and listen to him and try to pick up a couple of more of the answers that you didn't get through the first time around, because some of the things he does mention in this conversation are quizzed in the museum later, right? Including some of the specific details that he mentions and things like that.
Yeah, I remember.
Gotta clean up his desk there, though, man. You see that fucking, like, tipped over coffee cup?
Yep, just rushing through the dialogue this time.
Yep. Well, you know, we've heard it once, and now we need to get on with the Chrysler building. But in order to get there, we actually have to level up and everything. And I'm actually planning on going all the way through the museum before I actually go to the Chrysler building, which will kind of make the first few floors of the Chrysler building a little bit dull, but it'll save us from grinding later on. Because, you know, it's going to be... like, there's a big difficulty jump as you pass about the halfway point of the tower. Things start to get very, very tough. Although I don't know how tough they'll be for us. It depends on how high I can get my attack power before we get there. Because I'm still going to be pouring over everything into attack and cannibalizing as many items as I can. If only New York streets were that clear and that empty. Alright? If you're a cop in New York and you activate the siren to go faster, people probably just look at you like you're retarded. Right? And the streets are still like completely and totally packed with traffic.
Yep.
And we got the press conference. And I'm totally gonna get that trading card this time around. Yeah, I guess we didn't... It wasn't a big deal that I lost out on that trading card because I didn't need it this like last time around for the set of weapons and stuff we have.
Didn't we do the press conference already?
Yeah, but now we're meeting here to discuss some kind of briefing thing. It's for her solo concert, so we're all gonna like dispatch and into Central Park and be like, yeah, we're gonna set up like a perimeter at Central Park, and this is totally what the plan is. And
yeah, and then everybody's gonna turn into a big blob of goo.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how it would work, but you know, we don't get to see the briefing part because we're gonna go and run after Daniel here, and we're gonna get a mod permit from Baker first. You know, he just keeps them in his pocket, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man, you could be a little less stingy with these. Give us a couple more. I was walking into that tree off camera. Because some of the objects you see there, even if they're not on camera, because it's like a world space, as the camera angle changes, the objects are still in your way, right?
Uh-huh.
Ha ha ha. And they're going for their pro-gun, anti-gun debate again.
Yep.
Wayne being all patriotic and Torres being all cautious. But I can pick up some more ammo while I'm here. And,
Don't you already have 999?
I do, but, oh yeah, I need to talk to him in order to deposit shit. Store. Well, I think my gun currently is proof that Wayne could make a cannon.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what, whatever. We'll carry the cure poison with me, and if I don't need it anymore, I'll just toss it on the ground at some point. Yeah, I'll just carry the rest of this with me, whatever. Yeah, we already got 163 bullets, so... It's not like I'm gonna run out of ammo, especially because remember, I'm gonna be one-shotting everything in Central Park, too.
Oh, so you didn't keep all the ammunition that you had from,
No, that's why I put half of it away.
Oh, okay.
Just in case I needed it. But this particular gun that we've got here that we've tuned up is pretty ammo efficient. It's not like we're using a machine gun.
Ooh.
I think there's a balance though too, right? Because I think weapon damage is also correlated to the number of shots you fire. And I think I've said this before, but like a weapon that fires 3 shots does 125% of its damage. Whereas a weapon that fires 1 shot only does 100%, and the weapon that does 2 shots does like 120 or something. But it doesn't scale linearly. Although, I think if you had a maximum of 10 shots, you'd get the maximum damage out of your weapon every single time, but you'd need a weapon that fires really, really fast to fire 10 shots. So, basically a machine gun. You couldn't use it with a pistol, you definitely couldn't do it with a rifle or a shotgun. Imagine standing there firing 10 shots off with your shotgun. Or actually worse, because grenade launchers, I think, have the slowest fire rate in the game. So imagine firing 10 shots with your grenade launcher. Feels good, right? Don't worry, we'll take care of this one.
You know what? If he almost started on fire just by walking close to the gate.
Yeah, any cops we deploy here would have been totally fucked.
Yeah.
It was a terrible idea. Although, to be fair, at this point in the game, they're not exactly sure what they're dealing with yet, right?
Yeah.
No, I think they did a good job on the pre-rendered backgrounds for like the snow and shit here.
Yep.
For the winter scenery. Oh, hey, look, there's a hidden chest in there that we missed the first time.
Wow, looks like you got a few more enemies now.
Maybe. I'm actually not sure if it's based like that or if it's just like a random number of them spawn. Sure, we'll take all the medicine ones. Now we have all the medicines we'll need for any possible boss fight. Yeah, there's this chest here. Oh, it just has ammo in it. I guess it wasn't a big deal that I missed it the first time around.
Why, wasn't it randomly determined content?
Some of them are and some of them aren't. Some of them are the same thing every single time. I guess I have no way of knowing because I've never opened that chest before, but...
Oh.
This early in the game, I don't think it would really matter. Okay, I think there's a chest here. Yeah, more medicine ones. We're gonna be dropping medicine ones into, like, everything that we pick up now. Yep. All the medicine ones. At least the gate auto-opens for us. Yeah, this chest right here, for example, is one that can be random. 2 different guns. The M9 and then I think another gun that starts with a P. And there's a couple other chests where you can get, like, a tool or something else, and it's always better to get the tool, of course. Okay, that guy wasn't wide enough. And we could start accumulating junk to see if we could get Wayne to build us a super weapon. Because whatever weapon Wayne builds you, if you actually go through the effort of compiling like 300 pieces of junk, is far better than any item you will ever find.
Yeah, I think I did do that when I played this game through.
I might end up doing that if we struggle really badly in the Chrysler building. But of course I'll do that off camera. Because that would be a very repetitive process. Get all the vests and everything. Look at that, I even managed to activate that first time around. My inventory's full. Shit.
Already?
Yeah. Gotta use the medicine one.
Well, that didn't take long.
Sure didn't. But we'll take the bullets out of these things anyways. And I'll probably end up tossing a bunch of cure poisons or medicine ones on the ground or something. As we level up too, we'll get more slots again, right? I think you level up a couple times while you're in this area anyways. Can't remember if there's a spawn if I go over this way, or a spawn if I go down and that way. Yeah, there's a spawn here. Oh, and there's our instant AT gauge charge. Actually, yeah, I think there's a chest down here too. I can't remember if this one has a tool in it. Yep. See, now that we've been through these things a couple times, though, you kind of know where to get some of the useful shit, right? Then I think there's a bunch of curatives or whatever in this building. This is the snake building again? There we go. Look at that. Dodge all the snakes.
Yeah, how did you manage to do that?
Oh, you see that? That was the acid damage over time.
Yeah.
I was just fucking around with them, basically. I was just walking into the wall there, and then they all targeted the wall where I was standing, and then I just walked around them. Right? You know, this is a legit combat strategy. Might not look like one, but it totally is. Yeah, good. We're getting medicine 2s now.
Yep.
I think I'll use a medicine 1 then. Cure poison. Totally gonna dump off a cure poison in this box. We don't need 3 of them. We don't even need 1. Yeah, we'll boost the defense of our jacket some more. Our defense is kinda crap, and it's always gonna be kinda crap. Until we get through, like, most of the Chrysler building and finally find a decent pair of armor. And that's because I don't really tend to, if you've noticed the way I distribute my bonus points, I don't tend to assign them to armor, basically. It's always all weapon all the time. That's because I kind of have a philosophy that I want to have the ability to kill the enemy before they get to swing at me. Basically, right? Before they can attack, I want to kill them.
So your philosophy is that the best defense is a good offense.
Yep,
eh?
exactly. Got to work on his throw a little bit.
Yep, he missed you.
Yeah, but we also don't have the inventory space to do all this junk farming anyways.
Yeah, he's got 3 pieces of junk there. Need a backpack or something.
Well, but again, by the time we level up, we'll get all of our inventory slots back eventually.
Yeah.
And then it won't be so much of a problem. Or I suppose you could start spending bonus points on inventory slots. That's not my ideal choice of doing things, though, because you can always have a stronger attacking weapon. Speaking of bonus points, we can give ourselves 1 more attack. I think now that we've got like 110 range, it's probably good enough for now. I'll probably just continue working on my attack now.
Yeah, see, she should be able to carry lots of stuff because she's got those jeans and that jacket.
Yep, the leather jacket.
All those pockets. I mean, when you remember playing Dragon's Dogma?
Yep.
And you got your lady character wearing the lingerie, which is basically a thong and a bikini top. And she's carrying all this, like items and gear and all that kind of stuff.
She just puts it in her back pocket.
That's right. You know?
There we go. I guess I'll go out through this way this time, because it's kind of redundant to loop around now. I think last time we approached this direction from the opposite way, but it all makes a loop.
Yeah. So you'd think that with all those pockets and stuff, she should be able to... Basically, you shouldn't have to deposit anything with Wayne. You should be able to just carry it all.
If only. Wow, we hadn't even learned Heal 2 yet, I didn't realize. That means we don't have Detox yet either, I think. Oh no, we do. I guess, assuming an enemy isn't immune to it, we could always try slowing enemies if we can't haste ourselves.
Well, you never seem to have any trouble with the haste thing the first time through.
Yeah, it's just we don't get it until near the end of the game. I think till Disc 2.
Oh.
So.
But you get slow earlier?
Yeah, you get slow earlier. Like, we've got it right now, so. Four enemies with one shot?
Yeah.
It makes the encounters go quick. Although, to be honest with you, they're not really that slow even when you come through the first time. Because everything only takes a couple shots, right?
Well, more now than before, anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the plot barrier dead guy laying there. That we can't get past right now. I think there's a couple areas, like you could come in through that entrance or this entrance, it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah. So, sorry about the yawning, folks. I'm on the early morning thing now again.
Yeah, you've got your schedule all flipped around.
Yep. I got up at 4:30 this morning. As I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep.
I tend to wake up around that time anyways, just because I like to eat early in the day. And then I just push forward and do everything I gotta do in my day, and don't gotta worry about stopping to eat again. And then we get to watch the Central Park audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you gotta march up to the stage because she's turned everybody into goo, right?
Yep. I can figure out how to get backstage. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to get myself some new headphones, as Sandman was pointing out to me that...
yeah, it was like a piece of the
headphone padding.
The padding was stuck to your forehead.
Yeah. Well, I've got, like, pieces that come off on, like, the sides of my ears now, too.
Yeah, it's the padding around the earpieces, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cracking and
disintegrating, more or less.
Pieces of it is falling off, yeah.
Well, I'm surprised that this thing even still works. I mean, part of the reason why I even brought it over here in order to record for the YouTube channel is because it was half busted. Because I stepped on it at some point, right? And so I brought this over and bought myself an identical one to replace it with, right? But we've still been recording with it for all these years. It's still working just fine. I have to fiddle with the volume now and then in order to get the left headphone to work, but if I twist the dial back and forth, it does work. So, Ain't got any reason to replace it if it still keeps working, right?
Yeah, just keep using it until it stops working, I guess.
Yeah, I think this one's over here. Oh, look, we got another revive. Probably don't need two, but I guess it is what it is. Probably don't even need one at this stage, but... The thing is, too, though, is you still have a reason to come through here and pick up all this crap because you're looking for tools now in order to work up your gun. I don't think there's any tool on that side.
Yeah, you're not going to follow the little girl there. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't always take you to the routes that have all the chests and everything.
Oh.
So lots of times you'll see me kind of walk out of the way, and it's probably because I'm going to a chest or something. Oh, did I actually cut ahead? I think I might have cut ahead here on an area. I think I need to go right. Pretty sure I need to go right. Because there's a shortcut through here too, and then there's also multiple exits that you can find. But if you follow the little girl's route, sort of, then you can actually get to all of the other places that you need to be here. Oh. Like this chest out here. Whereas if you were to just run ahead all on your own, I mean, I think you could get to where you need to be. Or you could accidentally exit to Central Park and then be wandering around here blind, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, we only got ammo from that time? That sucks. That sucks. That's one of the ones that's random, I think. I think all the ones in the Central Park area are random, so they could be good or they could be garbage. But this is not random. This is always that survival vest.
I see.
Angry Bear. Angry Bear is no match for my hand cannon, though.
Yeah.
You just, you know, I isn't carrying around a handgun anymore. She's got one of the guns ripped off the battleship, right?
Yeah.
Don't ask how she pulls it out. It just sits in her back pocket, right?
That's right.
And if I recall correctly, too, there's another pickup for defense here. Now I'll throw the cure poison in there. I don't know, I seem to remember one of these being like Parasite energy defense too, but I can't remember which one. Yeah, this is where we came out, see? So I would have skipped that whole first area. We didn't get anything good from it this time anyways, but I think you can get a tool there. I don't know all the exact drops. I mean, there's a guidebook out for this game, then they'll tell you like a couple of what the drops are, and various guides online that you can look at, which will also tell you. Some of them are random, some of them aren't. This one could be a tool. I know for a fact this one can be a tool. And we got the tool, which is good. So maybe we got a crappy drop early on, but then we got a tool later on. I don't recall, but I don't think there's anything else out here. Like, I don't think there's a box over here or anything.
Didn't find one last time.
Yeah. You just gotta kind of look around the encounter thing, see if anything stands out, but no. Oh, look at this. Are we gonna get to kill a whole bunch of crows at once? Nice. That's a clean encounter. And look at all the junk you get from crows.
Yeah. You get a lot more junk from everything now, actually. The first playthrough, you didn't see that much of that kind of thing.
Well, maybe it's easier to get junk on each successive playthrough. I don't actually know.
Probably because eventually you're going to need that super weapon that Wayne can make you if you keep playing through this enough times, right?
Well, it's very handy to have anyways. Now, I don't know if I actually need any other effects on my gun. I think there's a couple of more effects, and a couple, like, this gun has 8 slots, and I think there's, like, at least 2 other desirable effects, but they're not absolutely necessary. So, with the way our gun's done up now, it's good enough, kind of thing. We've got all the important effects on there. Of course, there's cyanide bullets that you can find in Chrysler Tower, I believe. Those have a chance to instantly kill an enemy. So we'll definitely want to get those when we finally can get them. And then I think there's a critical hit chance boost that you can possibly get as well. But that's why you want to have like an 8-slot weapon as opposed to a 4-slot weapon like the M8000. Because it just doesn't have enough slots on it to have all these nice extra effects on it. And that's why I ditched the M8000 for this M9 here, because even if we find nothing better than this M9, at least we have all the slots we need. And we will find something better than this M9, eventually. Eventually. You also want to encounter all the encounters at least once too, because you can sometimes get like good items that are kind of rare from the first time of an encounter. Doesn't always work though when you go through the same encounter over and over and over again. I don't remember what you get from these guys, if anything useful at all. Oh, we had to reload. Nah, nothing useful from these guys, but like sometimes, like, you know, you're in the police station, you kill the very first, like, wolfman that you come across, right? And he gives you an offense +1, I think. But only the first time you kill him.
Plus, like, half the kingdom's treasury of other stuff, right?
If only, if only.
At least until the narrator spoils everything.
Yeah, at least until the narrator decides to end your career.
Yeah. You know what? It's been a long time since I played The Bard's Tale, but I swear that the whoever did the voice acting for the Bard in The Bard's Tale does a character in Baldur's Gate 3 too.
It wouldn't be that surprising.
That wizard guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Gale of Waterdeep or whatever his name is.
Gale of what the fuck's his name?
Yeah, like their voices sound, at least from what I can remember, they sound very similar, right?
Well, maybe they are. Maybe they are.
Even though those two games are separated by
20 years,
like a good 20 years or more, yeah.
Well, I imagine once you get a job and work in doing artistic related things within the games industry, probably if you're known for doing a particular genre well, then you probably just keep doing that genre, right?
Yeah. Well, you made short work of those this time.
Yep, we're mowing through them. It helps that we have good range, though, too, right? I can basically shoot them as soon as they pop up. Now, we're gonna have to lose... What are we losing this time? A medicine, too. Not important. We don't need medicines. We have a revive on us. Oh, we've got a medicine 1. We'll throw that away instead. Look at all the defense bonuses we get there.
Yes, I was playing a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 again.
Yeah, you were.
Started yesterday a little bit and a little bit today. And the strangest thing happened, and I've actually got a message that came up, like, you know how you get those notices?
Yeah, yep.
And it says I have to restart my computer to repair a bad like an error in the my hard drive or something.
Oh, I'd just ignore that.
Well, thing is though that maybe that's why as they have that update for Baldur's Gate 3, and I tried downloading it twice and it failed both times.
Well, I half wonder too if some of this is going to be like with the fact that Windows 10 is ending support. Who knows what's going on with that? Because that's ending, I think, I want to say tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's tomorrow. Yeah, I want to say it's tomorrow. I've heard other people running into other things, like a family member of mine who's not very tech savvy, they had like this notes thing where they were keeping like their recipes and stuff. And yeah, they kind of ended up losing out on that because now they have to either move it all to like the cloud on their Microsoft account or they get to lose it all. Which is kind of junk.
Wow.
Or at least so they were saying. I mean, you know, I don't really know what's going on with that because I'm not there in person to hear or to take a look at it. But yeah.
Well, if it's data, they should be able to store it on some kind of like storage drive or.
I tried looking at that thing
right?
once though. It's like some sort of Microsoft proprietary notes application. To get data in and out of it is like a total clusterfuck.
Oh yeah.
Right. It'd be better if they'd have kept it all in a Word document or something.
Yeah.
But they use this notes application for whatever reason, and again, I don't know what it's called even because I don't have it on my machines, and I've never used it before. But yeah, basically, they're getting totally screwed over for using that now, and I taught them how to migrate things from it manually, and they were doing that for a little while. But you know, life happens, and they had like 400 recipes in this fucking book.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, you know, now they're just going to lose some, and it's just like, well, shit. Hell, maybe I should have taken one of my weekends off to go and migrate that shit manually myself, but, well.
Well, if they know how to do it, though, they've got to do some of it themselves, right?
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, right?
You can't just do it all for them.
I mean, you can, and lots of times I do. That's kind of the curse of being the family technical guy. Right? When you have technical skills, people come to rely on that and lean on you for it.
Yeah.
But you don't always have all the time to spare in the world in order to help people address these things. Because even though it's a simple process, it basically amounts to like copy from this proprietary thing and paste into a Word document, and then save the images from this proprietary thing into a folder and then embed them in the Word document. Really simple process, right? But a very manual process. I don't know. I haven't had a Windows machine since like 2011.
Yeah.
So I've been running Linux this whole time. It works perfectly good for me.
Yeah. Well, it just makes me wonder, because I thought that GOG, because that's where I got Baldur's Gate 3 from. I thought GOG did DRM free.
They do, yep.
But it appears that every time I start the game, it starts up, it basically logs me into the GOG server.
I think that's only because you installed the game through the GOG client, but they also have backup installers that aren't tied to the client. Or maybe it's even something like the launcher looks to see if the client is installed and then activates it, and if it isn't, then it doesn't activate it. I don't know. I don't know what the whole.
Just as an experiment, I might have to disconnect from Wi-Fi and then try starting the game one day.
Yeah, or even go to the games folder, because if you're starting it through the client or starting it using the shortcut created by the client, maybe if you launch it from the games folder.
Yeah, because I just have a shortcut on the desktop, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I tend to download all my GOG games using their quote-unquote backup installer service, I guess, which used to be the only way that you could download things before they had the GOG client, but I just do it anyways because, you know, basically I run like a big archival thing. I have like 100 games on GOG, and then like I download and save every single one of them to like my server, because I have my own home server. And then I store all the data on there, and then when I need to install or uninstall games, I just grab them from the server, plop them on my desktop, and install them, and I don't have to worry about GOG being up or down, or the internet being up or down. As long as my local intranet is working, my LAN, then I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then I keep backups of that stuff on external hard drives and things like that, so...
Well, now everybody's leaving.
Mm-hmm. But I think for example, some of these games, like for example, Dragon's Dogma had like some online services related to it, so I installed that using the GOG client.
Mm-hmm.
On Linux, no less, even though I don't think they let you download the GOG client if you have a Linux system, because they read what operating system you have when you go to install it. So I actually had to go in using like an emulated Windows client in order to actually download, like an emulated Windows user agent in order to actually download the client, and then I installed it on my Linux machine, and then I used it to install Dragon's Dogma on my Linux machine, and then I was able to use the online services for Dragon's Dogma. It's just kind of funny though, all the obstacles and steps that some of these places make you go through because they're so worried about you running it on Linux.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, but it just, I click the button, I install the thing, and it works, Now, there are some things that aren't like that. One of the things I've had a lot of trouble with over the years is the Battle.net installer for playing things like StarCraft online.
Oh.
So StarCraft works perfectly fine. There's no problems running StarCraft at all, but to run their stupid fucking Battle.net client is the worst nightmare on Linux ever.
Oh, I don't think I'm familiar with that game anyway.
Yeah. It's like a Blizzard RTS game. That's like a futuristic RTS thing that they made.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty famous, pretty mainstream, but yeah. And I'm absolutely garbage at it. But yeah. But like Steam works perfectly fine under Wine too, in the few times you actually need to run Steam for that purpose. And the vast majority of games, unless they have some kind of like anti-cheat, like kernel level anti-cheat on them, that's a particular bad point where it won't work on Linux. And then there's like a random application here or there that just kind of doesn't work, right? But if you guys go to like ProtonDB or another website like that, because ProtonDB keeps track of all the games that are tested working on the Steam Deck, and anything that's listed there will like work like guaranteed for sure, and then lots of stuff that isn't listed there, if it hasn't been tested, it probably still works. Because I've actually got lots and lots of older software titles that aren't listed in ProtonDB, and there's another database called WineHQ, where they have like for the Windows is not an emulator, or Wine is not an emulator service for running Windows games, or application for running Windows games, and they have a big giant expansive database for what works with their software too, but I have lots of old games and things that aren't listed on these things, right? And old pieces of software too that aren't listed on these things, and they just work. And sometimes too, even like Windows versions of programs will work too, right? So like for example, I wanted to run a PS3 emulator, but I was also doing something where I was helping somebody else like troubleshoot their own setup on a PS3 emulator. So it's like, well, I took the Windows version of the emulator, even though I had the Linux version installed, and I booted that up, and I was able to run it and configure it and get it to work and get it to launch games and everything else. And it's like, well, there's no entry for that in any compatibility database because it's a native Linux application, right? But it also works when running under emulated Windows, so there are just some things that just work and some things that just don't. But I'd say a lot of it works these days. Because I remember when I first started back in 2011, there was lots and lots of stuff that you'd have a lot of trouble getting working, or you'd have to install certain things in order to get certain other things working. It was a pretty big hassle. And one of my favorite games, Diablo 1, that was a game that was very hard to get working at first. These days, though, you can just install it and it'll just work. There's a little bit of quirkiness with, I think we showed off in our playthrough with the main menu. But you just kind of like move the mouse around and that fixes the problem. That's usually the main type of incompatibility.
Yeah, actually, we did all the recording of that series on your computer.
Yeah, all of it except for like the last little chunk of it when I think something happened. I can't remember what happened, but I had to transfer things over to your computer. But normal and nightmare difficulty for sure were done on my computer. Any of the gameplay where it has the very high gamma settings, if you guys look at the recordings and you see it looks kind of like washed out, that's because I have a really, really, really dark, really, really old Asus monitor that is not very bright, so I actually have to turn up the gamma that much in order to actually see the game. But yeah, if you see the recordings with the higher gamma as opposed to the ones with the lower gamma, those are the ones that were done on my Linux machine. And that game works perfectly fine on a Linux machine. And even more complicated things too, like games like BeamNG, which are like basically complex physics simulators, those work perfectly fine on Linux.
Yeah, well, I guess if they keep working at it, eventually you'll be able to run anything on Linux that you can run on Windows. Well,
there's also some things too, because like lots of things that used to work on Windows don't work anymore, right? Or you need like a workaround in order to get them to work. Like a common thing for a lot of older games is you need to have like a DirectX wrapper or an IPX networking wrapper if you want to play multiplayer with your friends these days, because Windows actually removed the entire IPX networking protocol from their operating system. So you need to emulate it now. And things like that. But, you know, I mean, I guess I don't necessarily play tons and tons of AAA games, but, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, one of the things that I ended up running a whole bunch for a while when I was playing it back with my buddies a couple years ago was Ark Survival Evolved, and that game worked perfectly fine on Linux. They had a native Linux version for that, but it actually, it's funny too, because sometimes developers try to make a native Linux version of things and they half-ass things, and that one was one where the native Linux version sucked ass, but the emulated Windows version worked perfectly fine.
Uh-huh.
Right? I love this part.
Yep, it's time to break into the gun shop again,
yep.
Huh?
Break it into the gun shop. He's just taking out his lock-picking tools, of course, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, getting back to what I was beginning to talk about, I have been kind of enjoying playing that game again. I haven't played it a lot since I've gotten it. It's been out for a few years now. I got it a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, I seem to remember seeing you play it a couple times, but it seems like an on-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess, too, though, you keep yourself occupied with Fallout 4 and all that.
Yeah. Well, and also a lot of stuff for the channel keeps me busy, too, right?
Yep.
Because it is a surprisingly busy hobby that takes up a fair amount of my time, actually.
Yep. Oh, look, I got another club, too. I'm carrying one right now.
Well, then you didn't really need to pick that one up.
No, well, I didn't know that one was there, so, you know, I think I'll just drop it in a box. I could try, I think, Club Plus 2, or Club 2 has a plus on it, so if I wanted to just start accumulating crap on a club,
yeah,
I guess I could do that. I might have some tools, actually.
So you can't just drop stuff in the environment, you actually have to have some place to put it, eh?
No, I think you could discard it if you wanted to never pick it up again.
Yeah. I just wondered, because you never did that. You always would put stuff, like you take an item out of the trunk and put another item in, right?
Yeah, that's just kind of because I'm...
And it kind of made me wonder why you'd bother to do that when you're never going to go back there anyway.
Well, I'm a bit of an item hoarder, right? And it's like, well, I might need this later.
You even hoard stuff that you'll, you know, like by the time you got to the end of the playthrough the first time, you probably wouldn't have a hope of remembering where you had put this or that, right?
No, but I have to take it with me, right? Because I know that it's there,
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss out on it. And it could be like, you know, those extra couple of stat points could be the difference between me killing the enemy with like 1 hit point left, and that's kind of how I feel about these things. And I mean, I'm pretty bad about that in all games.
Yeah. Well, that's why I do the flower picking thing in Skyrim, right? Because I'm always trying to get that extra little
Edge with your poisons and
edge
potions.
with poisons and potions, and also, you know, it helps to make money and that kind of thing too, right?
Yep. Yeah, fuck, if there wasn't any potion making in that game, I literally would never be able to even finish my heavy armor training.
Yeah. Oh.
See, what is this nonsense anyways? Everybody breaks into the drugstore, but nobody breaks into the gun store down the street? Where's their sense of patriotism?
Yeah, well, maybe they're all after the drugs, right?
No idea what's in this chest. Okay, it's another revive. We got like 3 revives now. They're not like super common though, so it's kind of worth, I guess, picking them up. Okay, now we've got a medicine too again. And I don't remember, but I think there is some stuff on these shelves. But I totally can't remember which shelves.
And there's a phone on the counter there.
Yep, if you wanted to save or whatnot.
But anyway, I was thinking that, you know, like I'm practicing a little bit. Because I've actually never played completely through Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, you seem to start it.
I don't think I've made it more than about 25% in, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, if I played that one for the channel, it would be almost like a blind playthrough, at least after the first...
little while.
You know, little while, right?
Well, it's one of those games, though, too, where there's so many playing options. You can kind of get stuck doing that,
well,
right?
I really like the tactical, because it has that same kind of tactical gameplay feel that the Dragon Age Origins had.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that's definitely been a common way they've made those Baldur's Gate games over the years. D&D games in general,
even the older ones, because I have the first 2 as well.
Yep. And if you were to play Neverwinter Nights, they're kind of like that too. It's a very good way to run a D&D style game. It's really kind of a shame that the Dragon Age folks figured that they needed to do something more actiony, because I think they had something that was good and golden and worked for the first game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what, like I said, for Dragon Age 2, I kind of, you know, put up with a little bit of the button mashing thing and that kind of thing.
Oh, right. I think I gotta go to the lab first.
But by the time I got to Inquisition, like I said, I did manage to play all the way through Dragon Age 2 a couple of times.
Or maybe I don't. Maybe I'm in the right place. Let's see. Do I gotta go to lab first? It'll tell me in a cutscene. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, but with Dragon Age Inquisition, even, I found it frustrating to have to fight the same encounters over and over and over just because I happen to be passing back and forth through a particular area.
Yeah, in my view, that's really more of an MMO kind of thing, right?
And you had to do that kind of thing a fair amount, because in order to you know, like, solve some of the puzzles, they had these things where you would have to go and find these crystal shards by looking through these telescope-like artifacts that would be, you know, like, scattered around in the area where you were, right?
Yep.
And in order to get to these things, well, you'd have to walk back and forth across that area of the map over and over again in order to get to all of the little telescope things, and then once you found the shards, to go and collect all the shards. And, you know, I just got tired of knocking off the same group of you know, Templars from that faction, or you know, like other enemies from other factions or whatever. That, you know what I mean? Like, they just kept respawning over and over and over. It was the same encounter, and the same, you know, they still did have the tactical, I guess, overview by Inquisition.
Yep.
But there was still a fair amount of that button mashing type of thing too, because if you were controlling one of the characters outside of the tactical mode, well, you still had to, button mash to execute attack combos and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. Well, I guess it's quite a bit different for a game like that versus a game like this for even like the idea of random encounters, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I guess because encounters tend to be random in a game like this, you're not always guaranteed to find them.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit less repetitive. And I mean, even in other games, other turn-based RPGs like this, like say early Final Fantasy games or something like that, like the encounters are there if you want to walk back and forth and encounter them, but you could also just continue on and not encounter them, right?
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, I tried a couple of times, and both times I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and then it was just such a grind that I gave up.
I found that those games had a bit more talking in them than I really cared for anyways.
Yeah, there was a fair amount of that too, but I liked some of the characters. Like, I really liked... oh god, what is his name now? The dwarf with the crossbow.
Oh yeah, Varric?
Varric, yeah. Like, in spite of the fact that I couldn't remember his name, Varric was probably one of my favorite characters in that series.
Yeah, well, they did do a good job of giving them all personalities anyways.
Yeah. And I don't mind that. I don't mind the story thing. In fact, actually, it was the story that I thought was the story itself was very well written, even in Inquisition. That's what kept me playing as long as I did, really. But eventually, like I said, I just couldn't stick with it long enough to see it through to the end, right? And it's mainly just because the battle mechanics, the combat mechanics were just tiresome, right?
Yep.
Because I've never been one of those action RPG fan, like a fan of that type of game, really.
Well, I don't mind that type of game, but the thing about it too is some companies do that type of game well, and some companies do that type of game bad, and they really tend to have a very wide variance in how they play and how they feel. Pull the trigger now!
Yeah.
Alas, New York doesn't have any stand your ground laws.
Yeah.
Or clamp here would already be paste.
Well, the thing is, though, you're actually the trespasser, right?
Shh. Technicalities.
Yeah.
Fine. We'll just do a little bit of zealous policing here. You're like, yeah, Clamp just tripped over on the rug and there just happened to be a gun laying on the ground there.
Yeah. But anyway, I really enjoyed Dragon Age Origins and its direct sequels,
Yep.
Like the
DLCs.
The DLCs. And I played through them all. And I played through them all a few times. Because, of course, there's different ways that you can play through it, right? With different characters and different classes and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But, I like that, turn-based kind of tactical game that basically that's what that game mainly was, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot better too. Although I still have to say, out of those types of games, probably my favorite ones were actually the like MS-DOS D&D ones, the gold box ones.
Yeah.
I like that style of the turn-based thing the best. Because then, too, it also makes positioning very nice and crystal clear.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I guess it's just the tile-based system, it's a very nice simplification of the system.
Yeah, well, basically it's all...
And it's kind of like playing it on grid paper.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's actually what they were going for in those games, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really liked the way that they did them in the MS-DOS one. And I know we've talked about it a couple times in the past, but hopefully at some point we'll be able to play through those on camera too.
Yep, because we still got those games kicking around here.
Yep. Yeah, those were good ones.
Yeah, I had quite a few of them actually. I think I had the entire Pool of Radiance series, of which I think there was like 4 of them.
Yep.
And then there was another series, Frontiers or something.
Yeah, Gateway to the Savage Frontier and Treasures.
There was 2 of them, I think.
Yep.
And then there was also a couple set in the Dragons of like Kryn or something.
Yeah, it was
series.
Champions of Kryn, Death Knights of Kryn, and Dark Queen of Kryn, I think.
Although I thought that was a little bit broken, though, that you could get... Yeah, Dragonlance, that's what that was. It was a series of... Dragonlance was a series of novels, I think, that were popular, like, back in the 80s, right?
Yep.
But, I thought that, actually, though, the Dragonlance weapons themselves were kind of broken, where you could basically one-hit kill dragons with them, right?
I think we totally didn't get the thing from, there.
Oh, you got to get the thing from him?
Yeah, so there you go. I just tossed a medicine 2 onto the ground.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to check every cop twice this time to make sure I don't miss that damn trading card. I'm just going to throw random crap on the floor if I can't carry it. I think there's some guy in here. We'll actually have to come back to this room a second time anyways, but, Yeah.
And you know what? I don't think there's enough content to do really a series, but I don't know if you ever saw the old Accolade baseball game called Hardball.
No, I'm actually not familiar with that.
That's back from the Commodore 64 days. And actually, there wasn't a lot of content for it. There's basically 2 teams. The champs and the all-stars, right? So basically the red team and the blue team.
Yep.
And, of course you would have, like your various players with their batting statistics and, like you had some base running controls and you could pit. You basically, when you pitched, you saw you got a view of the plate from like behind the pitcher kind of thing.
Yep.
And you could, control what corner of the strike zone you were going to aim your pitch at and select what kind of pitch. And all these pitchers on your team had different selections of pitches as well,
Yep.
Like they'd throw all kinds of different types of... There was about 3 or 4 different types of breaking ball and like a really, really hard fastball or a regular fastball or an off-speed pitch. Like even the straight pitches, there was about 4 different speeds.
Yep. Well, the thing about games like that is, I think they do actually have content for doing like at least a small series, but they tend to be done like, for example, the way we did the Mule one, right? Like, we thought that was going to be a one-off when we first did it, but we ended up having a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, but the thing I really remember about that, I laughed one time, is that you could sub in different players as pitcher too, right?
Yep.
So I put a non-pitcher in as pitcher, and he was standing there up on the mound, and every pitch that you could select for him was a fat pitch. It basically said fat pitch, right?
Fuck.
But yeah, you also had like specialists, right? Like you had the guy who was the breaking ball specialist who threw a sinker or a curveball or, you know, like that kind of thing, right? And,
oh, look at this. We've got a double Wolfman guy here.
Yeah.
Didn't know that could happen.
Or you had the power pitchers who basically threw nothing but fastballs, right?
Yep.
But different speeds of them.
Yeah, I'll ditch a revive. We'll find more revives.
But there were some disadvantages to that one too, in that you know, like if a player was not noted as a slugger, then you could, you know, like you couldn't hardly even get a base hit out of the guy, right?
Yep.
You know, like you couldn't hit it out of the infield even. And they had a couple of sequels to that too, right? I think I had at least one of them, and in that one they expanded it out so that you could actually create. They had some teams that came with the as a set kind of thing, and you could also create your own custom teams if you wanted to.
Yep. Yeah, well, we got all kinds of things that we could do too. The Playmaker football is another one, right? Which we could possibly do a little bit of.
Yeah. You gotta see if you can win the title again, huh?
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, I'll have to go through that.
The last time that we played through a league, because we were doing it just for our own pleasure, Playmaker football, last time we played through a league season, it was your team that ended up winning the championship.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that to actually witness that because I ended up getting busy with something.
Yeah. No, I kept running the games that we had in the schedule until it was done, right?
Yep.
And, yeah.
Yeah, because I know you and we both drew a playbook for that and had our own ideas of how to do things and everything else. You were like dissing on the scan pass there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to make the scan pass viable no matter what I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I was more of a time pass kind of guy, right?
You know, I had to, it's the thing about the scan pass too, though, is it wasn't enough to just have them drawn and have decent plays drawn, but like you even needed like a particular balanced temperament of quarterback to get him to be willing to throw it into tight coverage, but also get him to at least not throw it at the first guy possible in the scan.
Yeah.
And that was kind of annoying to kind of figure out and balance out.
Yeah, that was a good game, actually. That came out in the late 80s, and I think it was developed by, like, one guy with a couple of other people helping him a little bit.
Yep.
And, you know, like, you could create custom teams with, you know, custom-created players, and these players each had 5 or 6 attributes that you could allocate skill points to. You know, like to determine, you know, what type of player that guy was, or what, you know, how skillful he was and whatever, right? And you could also draw your own offensive and defensive plays right down to very specific custom assignments for offensive linemen or defensive linemen.
Minute positioning to every possible point on the field.
That's right, yeah. And, you know, like, so it was like, and then once you created all your plays, they actually had an AI system in there that's set up so that just by selecting, almost kind of like on a slider system, you could select the priorities for various plays in your playbook.
Yep.
And the priority would be adjusted up or down for a particular play based on the success or failure of that play too.
Yep.
And you could even set the sampling, so if you, you know, like if this play works once or does not work once, then the priority will go up or down. Or you could even have the sampling be as many as like 3 or 4 or even more plays before it would evaluate
Yep.
the and you could even tell the computer what you wanted the criteria for success for a play to be, right?
Yep.
And you know what? Graphically speaking, it was basically a top-down view of a very simple-looking gridiron surface, and the
Simple-looking players.
The players themselves were vaguely
Football player-like.
Football player-like. They had helmets and that kind of thing, but it was still, pretty much a very pixely, kind of graphic-looking
Yep.
kind of thing. And you could, if you wanted to, you could control a player, using the mouse kind of thing. Although I never bothered, because basically if you drew your plays, the players would carry out the assignments the way that you drew them anyway.
Yep.
And did up a little schedule, because we had a league that had 18 teams or something in it. Because that game came with a bunch of teams already made up too, complete with playbooks and everything, right?
Yep.
So just made up a little schedule on a spreadsheet and just
I don't think I've ever noticed that this room is here.
Really?
I don't think I came in here last time.
Oh,
This is new. This is like the holding facility, I guess.
I guess so.
I literally never knew this room was here till just now. Oh look, there's upgrades in here that we missed the first time around.
Well. Uh-oh. Looks like there's monsters in here too.
Ah, that's fine. We've got plenty of bullets. I'll just walk right up to that rat and shoot it in the head.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh man, there's a tool there.
Well.
Yeah, literally this is new content for me. I've never been in this room before. Is the door open? Yep. Yeah, they all open.
Nothing in there though.
That doesn't look like it.
But anyway,
There's-
yeah, there's a lot of, good, really old games, and these are games that I used to spend a lot of time playing back in the day, right?
Yep. Hey, that explains the super duper heavy electronic lock outside now, though.
Yeah.
There's an electronic lock here, not because the fucking baker's office is up here, or his second office, or whatever, but because there's goddamn prisoners up here.
Yeah. Well, that door just kind of blends into the wall there, hey?
Yeah, it does. I noticed it by, like, sheer coincidence, but I've never been in there, and I've not in any game that I've ever played in this, I've never recognized that room as a room.
Yep.
It makes you wonder sometimes, too, with these games, how many times do you walk through the same area and you miss something like that?
Uh-oh. Here comes critters chasing the kid.
Oh, they'll be fine. We're totally gonna come through here and pick up the fucking lock for that guy's locker and then go all the way back downstairs. While the kid is running for his life. I don't really care. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll have Baker with him.
Yeah, another game I just remembered now, was a one-on-one basketball game with Dr. J and like Julius Irving and,
Oh, yeah.
And Larry Bird.
Wow.
That was one-on-one basketball, right?
Yep.
And you could do stuff like jump up and do like slam dunk shots, and you could even break the backboard
Yeah.
and stuff like that, right?
Ooh, can I get between these chairs somehow? There we go. Storage key. And again, I don't remember if there's a chest back here. I always end up checking this room excessively because I can't remember what's actually in here. Yeah, they had all kinds of interesting sports games back then too, right?
Yeah, I had summer games
Yeah.
where you did all sorts of summer Olympic sporting events.
In a way,
You know,
sports...
like
the sports genre is kind of like degraded into like, you know, we're just going to have the yearly release games and that's it, right?
Yeah. Summer Games is actually pretty good. And actually, I played that one with my sister quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were the kinds of sports that she didn't mind, you know, playing either, right?
Yeah, the Olympic ones.
Yeah, she was never really a hockey fan or anything like that, but I mean, the Summer Olympics one had cycling and it had, you know, like high platform diving, and I think it had fencing in it as well, or, you know, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, like Olympic sports, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was a Winter Games to go along with that, too.
Could be, yeah. The one I'm familiar with is the Summer Games one, though. And I remember that one because the diving part was actually really funny, because if you fucked up and did a belly flop or something in there, and then you got like 0.0, and of course you'd make like a big loud splash when you hit the water if you did it wrong, right?
Yeah, yep.
Like if you had the timing wrong.
Yeah, this is where Baker wishes that he brought along his MG42, right? Or maybe his anti-tank rifle.
Or his hunting revolver.
Yep. I mean, your gun only had 4 shots in it, man.
Maybe he already used a bunch of them up.
True, yeah, yeah. I mean, this whole fucking place is loaded with monsters, right? So if he had to do anything other than get in front of Ben... Oh, nice. Tool.
Yep. So did you get that trading card thing yet?
No, it's just up here. It's past this... It's in this hallway.
Oh.
But instead I'm going to come in here and talk to this lady. I guess she'll give us the free heals.
Lab tech? I don't remember the lab tech.
Yeah, we encountered her last playthrough too.
Oh, did you?
And we basically just tell her to stay in here so that she don't die. Because if she goes outside, she's gonna die. This is the guy. This motherfucker right here. He's not gonna make it. Take the stuff in his locker.
Okay.
But last time I couldn't take the fucking locker key because I was over encumbered. Ugh. So now we're gonna go, well, we're gonna go back down there right now.
Okay. Because otherwise you're gonna be complaining about this again for the rest of this playthrough too.
Well, I think I can go back into his locker at any time now.
Oh.
But, you know, now that I've got it.
So then you'll get back up to the top there and Baker and Ben will be eaten, right?
Absolutely.
Because you took too long.
It's not my problem. But no, I don't think they actually die. Like it's just literally like they're standing there, all frozen in action, waiting for you to get there. It's like the monsters in the room at the back of the room in Diablo, right?
Yeah.
They're not trying to kill each other. They're actually just sitting there playing cards or whatever.
Yeah, waiting for you to show up.
Okay, and I think, yeah, the locker is down this way. See, imagine if you thought that this was going to be a good item because you talk to that guy and you take his fucking trading card, and you just find out it's a trading card the first time around. You're like, what the fuck is a trading card for?
Yeah. I still don't know what a trading card is for.
Well, you know how Torres takes mod permits?
Yeah.
Torres doesn't take trading cards. But Wayne does.
Oh.
Wayne will take trading cards as if they're mod permits.
Oh.
And so you want to get all the trading cards you can for Wayne.
Yeah, and you know what? Going back to the old-timey games, too, on my old 286, I had a hockey game. But it wasn't like an EA Sports one or anything like that, although it did have kind of some built-in league play and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yep.
But it was weird because you could skate up and down the ice and that kind of thing, and it had very similar kind of view to the NHL games until you went to take a shot on goal.
Oh.
And then you'd have, like, the puck going back and forth horizontally on the screen while you're getting ready to hit it with your hockey stick, and you'd be facing the goalie in the net, and you'd have to pick, like, a spot where the puck was and press the button in order to decide how you were going to aim your shot, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, the goalie would make some kind of a move to try and stop it. Right?
Yep. That Super Wolfman there just did half our health and damage.
Wow.
Even though we have this souped up armor. That just goes to show you that our defenses really are shit, like I said.
Yeah. And then you could also set you had rules options, right? And one of the rules options was Aussie rules.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the only penalty in the game then would be like if you got into a fight and lost,
yep.
you got a 5-minute penalty for losing the fight.
Fuck. See, the things that people thought up when they were making sports games back then, right?
Yeah.
You wish you saw the same level of creativity in the modern era. Things are too focused on, like, the big sports franchises now and shit. Although I guess you still see something now and then.
Well,
and maybe there's a bit more creative freedom too still present in games like the golf genre and things, right?
Well, you know what? I had fun playing the Accolade football game 4th and Inches as well. You know, like with that one, you could also create your own custom teams if you wanted to. It actually was all on 5 1/4 floppy disks.
Yep.
And they had a because this was on the Commodore, right?
Yep.
And if you wanted to, you know, like load a custom team or make a custom team, well, they had a second disc that was like an expansion,
like a construction set type of disc?
Yeah, the team construction disc, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because the base game, again, because it was Accolade that made Hardball as well. So basically, 4th and Inches also came with the basic game came with 2 teams, the champs and the all-pros, right? Mm-hmm. So the red team and the blue team, basically.
Of course, yeah. Classic.
Yeah. But, you know, like the team construction disc came with several pre-generated teams. And then, of course, you could make your own teams too, right?
Look at this. We're here just in the nick of time. Absolutely,
yeah,
right?
Just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time. I know it's been like 10 minutes since you guys got here. It's just in the nick of time. Okay, we need to shoot thing.
Yeah. Well, you should be able to hit all 3 targets anyway, right?
Yep. Easy. We can even be a little cautious here and throw up a barrier while we shoot. And every time you do that too, it stuns, right? Because you kill the head.
Yeah. Well, that was a pretty lopsided fight.
Yep. Yeah, because it kept getting stunned, so it never actually did attack. Hey, buddy, you're okay. Yeah, I guess they're still renovating this top room here, huh? In the police station?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't always a police station, though. You never know, right?
Oh, I don't know. They've got some really old buildings in New York, right? Because like people have been living there for
300 years?
300 years or something, yeah. And I've actually visited a couple of cities in the United States, and one of the things that struck me is the age of some of the buildings that they have, and because I mean here in like Western Canada, the city we live in is a little over 100 years old, right?
Yep.
Like it was and a little over 100 years old. It was basically a
trading fort before that,
a stockade type trading fort.
Yep.
And that grew into a town and then later a city, right?
Yep.
But yeah, like we don't have any buildings here that are like more than 100 years old, right? But in some of those cities that I've been to in the States, they have buildings that are like almost 300 years old, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how old some of these places can get.
And I guess they've got buildings that are even older than that in most European countries, right?
Oh God, who the hell even knows how old some of those are? I mean, they're nice looking buildings, but anyways, I distributed my bonus points. Our gun now does 189 for attack now, so. But I think this will be a good time to break it off.
Yeah,
now.
You've already played halfway through the game.
Yeah, we played through halfway
in one sitting
here. So.
But when you can kill everything with one shot, I guess you can breeze through it a lot faster, right?
That's right. I like how every computer here is smashed except for what I can only assume is Aya's computer right there.
Yeah.
All right. Just leave her computer alone. Maybe it's got her mitochondria on it or something. It's protecting the computer or some shit.
Yeah. Maybe.
Anyways, until next time.
I'm Sandman99.
And I'm RecB5. Have a good one.